We are live. Okay. Welcome, welcome,
Amazing.
welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. It's another amazing episode of Technically Speaking. I'm just here for the setup. I'm going to go and watch on YouTube while these two spit some amazing game. But what I am going to be here for is the infamous disclaimer, because there's going to be some information here that some people may interpret as financial advice. And we just want to make sure that people know that it's not actually financial advice. So let's just get into the disclaimer. Thank you for Voice of Crypto for sharing this on your platform for us once again. Disclaimer should be up now. So disclaimer, terms and conditions. All our content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice or recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, or place any trades. Please do your own what?
Research.
Our content is intended to only be used for informational use. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment, which could be based on your own individual circumstances. You should always take independent professional advice from a professional advisor. I'm not a professional financial advisor. Kirsten, are you a professional financial advisor?
Nor am I. Nor am I.
Are you a professional financial advisor?
Technically, I'm a guy on the internet.
He's a guy on the internet. So independently research and verify all information that you find on our show from any guys on the internet that you wish to rely upon, whether you wish to make an investment decision or otherwise, because all investments come with
risk.
So please do your own
research.
We are not financial advisors, do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. However, we are actually working in collaboration with several accredited advisors. And if you're unable to mitigate your risk, then please contact us immediately so we can refer you to an accredited financial advisor. Blockchain
There you
sensei.
go. Exactly that. Okay, cool. So now the disclaimer's over. Yeah, man, I think a lot of people are excited about the markets right now. But let's get into it. I mean, Keash, what are you thinking about the markets at this present moment in time? What have you been seeing happening in the world, in the space, and how do you foresee these things sort of changing the financial markets and affecting them? And then we'll get into the charts together.
Okay, sure. So I've actually not paid attention to the market at all for the last couple of days. I did keep a close eye on it last week. This week and over the weekend, I've not paid attention at all. So what you will be getting is a completely unbiased, unprepared, unscripted view of what I'm seeing. I would approach the market cautiously regardless, because it all depends on, like I always say, the time frame that people operate under. If you've got 5 years to sit on some money that you don't need, no problem. However this thing plays out now, you're going to be good anyway. However, if you are in a position where you needed that money that you're putting into the market and you need it to work right now, if it doesn't, yeah, if you sit on it long enough, you'll probably recover, but you have the opportunity cost of having to recover that loss. And it's always easy to lose 50% of your money, but to make that same money back, the price has to double, which is way harder to accomplish.
Exactly, and also, especially within crypto and Web3, I mean, so with such volatile assets as well. Yeah,
you can make money quickly, but it can also lose money quickly. And if all you have is 500 pounds to your name and you're putting it on a coin, hoping that it's going to blow up, if it doubles, your life doesn't change anyway. So you've only made 500. You still have a whole lot more money to make before you can consider yourself financially free and independent. So that would be my overall take. However, let's jump into the charts and see what's actually been playing out and where this thing might go.
Amazing.
Just gonna share my screen. Can you see my screen, bro?
Yes, I can see your screen. Just another run through of Keash and how he plays the charts. Do you want to tell them which one would be the red candle and which one would be the green candle, just so that they understand? Because obviously your chart is set up where there's no bias and there's not emotions pumping into your TA. So I think that it would be good to explain that to them as well.
So the way I like to set up my charts is to minimize emotion and just be as cold, rational, and unbiased as I possibly can. if you look at the charts, even the default charts you get in services like TradingView, or if you look at the charts provided at CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, or every single exchange that's pretty much out there, they are set up like a casino, because the way an exchange makes its money is the more you trade, the more trading fees you're going to pay, which means the more money they make. So just be aware that that's the way the business model is set up, and it's essentially set up like a casino, which in this case, just like the house always wins, the exchange always wins, whether you make money or whether you don't. So even if we look at the way the world is set up, if you have traffic lights and you're standing at the pedestrian crossing, if it's red, it means stay there, don't go. If it's green, it means okay, carry on, go do what you're doing. If you see on a chart a whole lot of green, you probably shouldn't be entering, because all you'll be doing is providing exit liquidity for all the people that have been sitting in from the beginning when the price started pumping. So to counteract all those biases, I've set up my charts using, well, the black background because it's just easier on my eyes, but the candles themselves. For price going up, I have white, and for price going down, I have slightly darker gray, which enables me to look at the charts without that built-in emotional response that you would naturally have to colors. So that's just the way I do things. Now, in terms of the actual charts, I like to have a top-down view. So first starting with the S&P, then looking at Bitcoin, and then all the individual coins, because for the most part, things are correlated. So if one thing is pumping, probably other things will pump as well. So as we see on the, well, let's zoom out a bit first. As we see on the S&P 500.
And we're in a daily time frame right now.
Daily, correct. We have been.
Could we X out that advert? They got a little advert in the corner.
Sure. No, we don't want to upgrade. There we go, fellas.
Amazing.
Probably gonna start stalking us with ads again in a minute, but we'll hold them off. Hold the line. So as we can see, we've had a pretty nice run up over here, but overall, the price is still in a range. I wouldn't consider us back in a proper bull until we can clear this level. That will be around 4,150. Once we clear this level, I would be way more optimistic about placing a significant.
What do you mean clear that level? Is there certain candle confirmation? Because I run by a 3-candle rule. Especially depending on what time frame, but I run by a 3-candle rule where I get a 3-candle confirmation above that line, then it's cleared in a sense. Because obviously it will touch that line a couple times. Sometimes it might go. Normally it will touch that line 2-3 times, then start clearing up from what I've been seeing in markets with trends. But yeah, when you say a clear confirmation, what would you describe that as?
So if we look at the way this line has held up in the past, it's been a good level of support over here, and here it started flipping into resistance. We did break it briefly over here, and then on the retest,
and that actually went straight on your trend line as well. I can see you have a trend line, and when it broke through, it only went exactly to where that trend line was, which is beautiful TA. And then straight back down, broken through. So yeah, I mean, it really was struggling to push through that range, and then it fell back down. I can definitely see that. Yeah, it's quite interesting now because it's almost breaking out of that trend, but it needs to actually break through that level of resistance that you're saying. 100%.
Yeah, I'd be looking for something like this, and then for the retest to actually hold. Because
Yes.
like you said, you have a 3 candle rule here. Well, we had 2 where it did hold, and then on the 3rd one, boom, we nuke.
There you go. 3 candle rule. Don't play games, bro. The 3 candle rule, man.
Yeah, and then you probably have quite a few people getting excited, euphoria starts picking up, and then because for some, here's the thing. In business, there is such a thing as win-win. You get a good product, solves your problem, I get money, we're both happy. In markets, for somebody to win, somebody has to lose. And usually it's the institutions that win, and regular retail traders, they're the ones that lose, because it's easier for a player with 100 million to set up certain plays than somebody with 10 grand. A person with 10 grand cannot move a market. Person with 100 million, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to understand as well, because there's so much trillions flowing through the markets as a whole, and I think that you have to understand what that power, buying right power has, and also I think separate to just reading charts, also what people that have the large majority of the markets and do push the markets and move the markets, what are they doing and what are they looking at? Because especially in the stock market, it's very, very easy to track and trace all of their moves. But yeah, I think that's very clear, bro. In terms of the crypto markets now, you want to move on to Bitcoin, right? I think I can see your tabs, right? I can see you got a little fear and greed index going on over there, bro. Could we just check out the fear and greed and see where we are currently within the space and see how people are feeling?
So there's 2 things that I actually use. First is fear and greed, but there's another tool which on a long enough time frame, it plays out pretty accurately, which I will show in a second.
So it's looking like people are very greedy right now. For me, I'm looking for this to be in the orange or red. Under Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm looking for it to be in the orange or red around about 20 something, under 20 something. That's what I'm looking for typically. Um, then I'm like, okay, cool. Now it's kind of like getting to where I need it to be at. But how about you? Well, how do you use the fear and greed, and how does it benefit your trading?
So in terms of the fear and greed in index, I tend to, because I don't really trade like short-term time frames, like hour, 50 minutes. I don't really do that. If I do use them, it's only for a confirmation of what's going on in the short term. If I do place any trades or buy any spots, I would go for primarily the 4 hour chart, and then occasionally flip to the daily. So with those time frames, if we are in high greed, I would just avoid, because there's no point in buying into a pump unless you're really willing to sit there for a year, and that's not how long I would be willing to sit in any sort of a position, unless I was just back holding some coins till literally Valhalla or
Until the cows come home, they say, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of this, there will always be a retracement, even if we blow up into a full-on bull market right now. Even if the Fed goes, okay, guys, time to turn on the money printer, let's go. Even if that happens, there will be some sort of a retracement. There will never be a never-ending pump, because at some point people will take profits, and a profit on a 20% profit on 500 pounds is not the same as a 20% profit on 500 million.
Exactly that.
Oh, you make your 20% of 500, okay, you're 100 pounds richer. Those guys over there, they're 100 million richer. So it's totally different. In terms of the other tool that I find very useful is this thing called funding. So it's a free tool. You access it through coinalyze.net. Now this one we don't need. So we want aggregated predicted funding rate on Bitcoin. And what this tool shows us is the overall sentiment of traders on derivatives exchanges. So usually, without too much detailed explaining, whenever funding becomes very, very negative, that's an indication that a lot of people are shorting the market. They're betting on the price to go down. Now, unfortunately, usually those guys are wrong because they're just retail traders. They don't have the capital to move the markets. So as we said earlier, for somebody to make money, somebody has to lose money. So if all the retail are betting on the price to go down, there is a high possibility that the institutions will just come in and wipe them out. Which, if we look historically at how this has played out, this area right here, funding very negative for a very prolonged period of time. What do we get after? Big pump. Really. Again, here funding becomes negative. What do? We get a pump. And high. Same here. That's if I remember correctly, that's around the time when FTX collapsed.
I was about to say that's a super duper dump.
Yeah, that's when everybody thinks, okay, the world's coming to an end. Like, that's it.
That looks like the world is ending. Yeah.
Which I don't think the data goes this far back, but if you try to find it doesn't go this far back. But if you look at like the COVID dump, which I think was over here. Again, the funding was ridiculous. It doesn't go that far back, unfortunately. Maybe they do on a premium version, but definitely you don't have this one. Again, we have extreme pessimism for a pretty long time. And then what do we get? We get a pump. Here, again, negative funding. Not as bad as over here, but still a pretty sharp drop. And just at the peak, when the funding became the most negative, what do we get? We get a pump. Because then all the big boys come in and say, okay, all these firms are betting on the market to go down. Let's take their money.
Just like that, liquidate everyone. Boom, just like that. Exactly that. And that's how it works. It's a mad game. When you see the macro picture versus us, like on a retail level as retail traders, it's a big game that we're playing in. And I think, utilizing tools like this is definitely the best way to get that edge ahead, and also think like they do, in a sense, because they have access to a plethora of toolings, plethora of different things that allow them to have leverage over the markets, as obviously they're pumping in hundreds of millions, if not billions, into the markets. Okay, incredible. Let's just run through Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I think there's some interesting stuff. A lot of people are buzzing around that at the moment as well. And then after that, we'll run through a few alts and then wrap it up. So the Bitcoin is there. Okay, I would have zoomed out. Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna let you do this. Obviously, everyone TA is different, so you know.
Yeah, I've been beating up this chart for a while, as you can see.
Oh, I can see you got ranges up in there, bro. I can see you got ranges.
Yeah. So obviously, in terms of the macro view, there is a possibility we've actually hit the bottom. And even if you compare it to the funding level over here,
it was confirmed. It was confirmed. So we actually read a report from Grayscale, a Grayscale bear market report. I would definitely advise you guys to check out that on our page. Yeah, the Grayscale report that we read through actually covered a lot of the market temperaments and also the history of all of the whole space and how it affected the markets. And one thing that I think was very, very interesting was that, yeah, they confirmed in December that that was the bottom. So yeah, the bottom was confirmed by Grayscale in December, and they also gave a timeline on the cycles of Bitcoin and how long it takes to get back into a bull market and how much days on average it does as well. But yeah, if you're interested in that, check it out. But yeah, I think that it definitely did bottom, from my opinion, from what I've read, not just from what I think personally. Yeah, I feel like I look at the markets quite. I don't know if the word's pessimistic. I look at the market so negatively. I'm like, yeah, I look at something, I'm like, yeah, that's going down. I'm looking for the bad things. I'm not even looking for good things in the market when I look in the markets.
in a way, you have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is war. At the end of the day, this is financial war.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as we're all gonna make it. The only reason back in 2020, 2021, everybody was making it was because just new people kept coming in, and those new people had less and less of a financial IQ where it was very easy to take their money. That's all it is.
But just to let you guys know as well, in my opinion, having a level of knowledge of understanding to this level gives you a good edge as well, in my opinion. And I think that, yeah, understanding, look, like you can see the 2019 top, 2018 top, you can see exactly where the markets have been at. It's very, very good to understand exactly what has been going on within the space and understand, okay, maybe we might be in this year at the moment. Well, we're kind of pushing past 2018 at the moment. We're kind of pushing, we're returning back to this point. And the markets will show you. I mean, there's points previously from the history points in the market, like on the charts, that you can see, you go back and you can actually see exactly every single little point where it's changed and where it's returned back to. So really utilizing all of the data that the chart is showing can really paint a picture, and that's what we do. I mean, we're just painting a picture to understand more of the history of how it's moving, and based on that history, where those points will be, basically. So yeah. Okay, so Bitcoin, cool. Could you go in a weekly and zoom out? Because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Zoom out on the weekly. Because I saw on Ethereum, I saw a little, yeah, it looks the same. So it looks like not a bull flag. It's nowhere near a bull flag, yeah, but I saw on Ethereum it had like it's almost like a shape of a flag, like almost, not necessarily, right? Which is a good thing, right? But I saw that it wasn't breaking past a range, so you can see that there's some resistance here. You could, I don't know if you can see that, Wikash. Can you mark a floor basically down the middle of that mountain, pretty much at the bottom of the base of the mountain, where it's struggling to push past currently? Yeah, like there. That line there. You can see that there, and then there's a trend line, a downwards trend from all the way up the top of that mountain, all the way down to where it is now. I don't know if you can see that right there, like that complete that whole thing, yeah, from there all the way down. And if we see that, then it has points that it needs to push past, you know. Um, and I would have drawn that down, but yeah, basically it's got a little pressure point. Basically, it's at a pressure point right now, and if it successfully breaks past this pressure point, I think that is a good sign in my opinion. But yeah, from what I've seen, as you can see, there's it's pushing through at a strong wick, but it's just struggling. If it pushes past that point there, I think that high pressure point. What I mean by high pressure is, you have the V that it's making, and then it's caught in between that. It's like bouncing. Imagine like a ball. You throw a ball in there, it's bouncing, 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 bouncing. Then it creates pressure in the market. Then it has to break through or tank down. And from what we've been seeing, if it has truly bottomed out in December, then hopefully this is a little indication that things may be looking better. But I think that it's good to have a look at the conditions of the world, understand what's actually going on. There's a lot of pacts and things I'm hearing with China and their currency and other countries using them. There's a lot of things happening in the world that I'm seeing, and I think that these things definitely have a knock-on effect on the markets. And overall, I would say that fundamentals are more powerful than any technical analysis that you can do, right? Because if there's news that comes out tomorrow, or news that is bubbling up, a story that's bubbling up, and that's going to affect the whole economy in the whole world, that's going to affect the markets tremendously, and that might be something that might not be on the charts TA'd up. So I think in addition to TA being extremely important, fundamentals are extremely important as well. I would say fundamentals are more powerful than TA alone, and having fundamentals and TA allows you to have a different level of leverage over the markets. One thing that's quite interesting is that news that comes out normally is pre-released 2 or 3 days in advance, especially large stories and things like that. And things that the governments are doing are definitely, probably I would say 7 days or more in advance. You can find out the information on the internet. So you can see what's actually happening before it happens. And I think that is, well, before it happens publicly, right? And I think that in itself will give a huge leverage over the markets on a fundamental level, understanding if these rates are going to raise up, or if this is going to happen, how is that going to affect the markets? So yeah, but yeah, let's run through Ethereum real quick, because I see the same thing in Ethereum. You know how Ethereum follows. I don't know if it is a bit clearer in Ethereum. But yeah, in the weekly, yeah, I would widge that. Yeah. I'll widge that, smidge that like this. I'll smidge that. Yeah, I would smidge it up like that, and then I would, yeah. Yeah, exactly that. Then I'll chart that, and I see a similar thing there as well. So, Wikash, do you see that? What do you think of that? I don't know if I'm crazy. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, from what I'm understanding, it needs to push past a certain point. That needs to return higher as well. You can see there's a touch point above that. Yeah, the 2000 zone that you put there, it needs to push past that. So yeah,
it's all looking very, very similar. There's actually quite a bit of speculation going into potentially Ethereum significantly outperforming Bitcoin.
Yeah, but then again, if you look at the news that's been coming out, Bitcoin are doing smart contracts. So, if you look at the fundamentals, Bitcoin smart contracts.
And here's the thing also, like, Bitcoin was created with the idea of decentralization and truly creating something that cannot be manipulated.
Yeah.
Everything else that's in crypto, it's centralized. Literally everything.
Bitcoin is quite centralized.
Well,
in terms of Bitcoin mining,
it?
Bitcoin creation, the people that are making Bitcoin is quite heavily centralized, in my opinion. And yeah, also the people that are actually the ones that are mining it, and the main people that are the most bullish. I mean, I can't say too much, right? But the main people that are the most bullish for
we want to still see tomorrow.
On a governmental level, the people that are most bullish for Bitcoin are the ones that are mainly controlling it. I'm gonna just say that. Keep at that. Cool. Okay, cool. Ethereum's at this point as well. Ethereum's looking pretty much similar. I feel like it has a bit more to push up through to break through. But obviously, if Bitcoin is earlier going to be breaking through, Ethereum will follow. But something that's very interesting. Let's have a look at Solana. I call Solana banana now. I can't get that out of my head. There was a project that I spoke to way back in the day. There was a Solana banana project. I was like, Solana banana?
Solana's looking cheap.
Solana's looking.
Are you familiar with how Solana's being affected now with the whole FTX situation? Because it was FTX's little baby, right?
To be honest with you, bro, I'm not heavy in the Solana communities at this present moment in time. I've taken a back seat. I ain't talking to the Solana guys right now. I know a lot of Solana guys, and a lot of them are not really. Some of them are kind of heavy on it. Others are not really, man. I'm telling you, this the space is shifting. I heard news about a lot of stuff happening with their development and hackathon teams and whatnot. I'm not gonna spread out, information that is not meant to be public because obviously might be issues there. But
in terms of the price, if I was only looking at the price,
it's a steal right now. I mean,
it's survived. If this is the end of the bear market, it's survived. Look what Cardano did after surviving the previous one.
Oh yeah, I can't lie. This one could be one of the biggest, craziest moves because I know that one thing I can say, I can't really, but I can say is that they're working in biotech. That's all I have to say. If they're working in biotech, then cool. But do your own research on that.
And here's another thing. Because in the bear market, if things don't work, that's when everybody cares.
Yeah.
In the bull market, if things don't work, nobody cares. As long as we get rich, it's all fine. Doesn't matter if it doesn't work. Doesn't matter if they even haven't built anything. They just have a really good idea.
Yeah, but
I won't mention the coin.
Things are changing, though. I believe things are changing. I think when regulation comes in, utility is king. Yeah. And I think that will make a new space where things like that are not all the way put together won't be able to have such large growth. I think maybe potentially that may happen, but not as often. But I think obviously these things will still happen in the space. Like there was obviously 2018, large amounts of hacks happening, and that's still happening, but not a lot of projects it's not really being publicized as much. Like, and if you think about it in tech as a whole, like Amazon, Google, Facebook, how much times do they get hacked today? But we don't speak about that. They get hacked hundreds of millions every day.
Yep.
But yeah. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting one, man. And also another thing, there's hella call centers making money from Amazon, Facebook, and Google, all of these services. So there's a lot of things happening within those spaces, but because this is a new and emerging space, a 30 million hack, which really isn't a lot in the grand picture of grand scheme of things, is really going to be shifting and changing everyone's view. When if you look at the Facebooks, the Googles, whatnot, their hacks are just absolutely obliterating any hack that's happening within the Web3 space. But yeah, I think a situation like FTX, definitely insane. Something that no one saw coming. I don't think anyone really saw that coming. So yeah, it's really, really interesting on that front. But yeah, Solana very, very, very low right now. What's the RSI saying? I can't see that right now.
Oh, the RSI itself is not too low. The RSI is like 50.
Whoa, wow, it's quite high.
Yeah, RSI is quite high on everything, and that's on the daily, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
On Bitcoin, it's 65.
Wow.
On Ethereum again, it's 58.
Yo, bro. Bro, I'm not gonna talk. Okay, cool. We'll talk about something off camera about that.
Which makes me suspect that there is a dump coming.
There's a little something coming, bro. I recognize that pattern. But yeah, FTM.
Also, just looking at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's gonna drive the crypto market, right? Look how many times this has touched this line and couldn't make it.
That's why I have a 3 candle confirmation, bro. If it ain't broken past it, 3 candles above, bro, in the long term time frames, then I'm good off that, bro. Unless you're trying to do some short term scalping on a 15-minute, it don't make no sense. But the 3 candle confirmation, I'm telling you, man, it don't lie, bro.
Yeah. Look at these two. That's on a 4-hour chart. Look at these two candles. That's like, I won't swear on this, but you know what that candle means.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Look at that, man. So when there's a wick like that, so heavy, that's heavy selling pressure, man. That big push down. I see things pushing up and down. When I see that wick, it's like a push down. I'm like, yo, they're pushing that down heavy, like. So yeah, man.
And also on the RSI, whenever you get a bullish divergence, I don't really buy it. But when you get a bearish divergence, they usually tend to play out right.
Oh yeah.
Which we had one here. Again, played out nicely. We have one over here. I don't think we're out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, any other coins that you want to run through in particular? I mean, we've got the Solana, we've got the Ethereums. I see FTM over there looking at me, man. Let's go on FTM one time, and then I think we'll wrap it up after that. I have a look in the space as well. But yeah, really interesting space. I think next, technically speaking, that we do, I want to go more in the DeFi projects and just run through some projects that really done well last time. There was a bull market, and see where they are at now. Because I think out of the picks over there would be some really large growth and really cool projects that we could cover that would have really good returns over, that could potentially, if they have survived, do well. So yeah, I think that would be cool to run through. Phantom is another one, man. Oh my gosh. The crazy thing is, this
That's
looks
a
like a
classical
Loch Ness monster.
whale manipulation playbook.
This is a Loch Ness monster, bro. Look at this, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Can we zoom into that a little bit? I'm not trying to look at that mountain. Let's get out of that mountain. Let's look at the little one, the little mountain, the little head, little Loch Ness monster head. Let's see what's going on with that.
That's still on a weekly chart.
Oh god. Yeah. That's. I don't like that. That's looking like a bearish. It's not. It's not formulating correctly. It's not a proper flag. Like, it's kind of a flag, but nah, man. I don't like. It's got heavy. Like, the wicks are chunky, innit? So that's heavy buying pressure. But for it to have that chunky wick, chunky candle, and not have a big wick on it, which is clear, and it still be going down bearish, I don't like that personally. But what do you think, Keash, on that one? What's this, daily? Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's on a daily now, but
that's the clearer picture. Yeah, it's really struggling. It's really struggling to push through. That, for me, in my opinion, I don't think that's going to break out anytime soon. In my opinion, that's not breaking out anytime soon. Out of that triangle, innit? You know, with a bull flag, a typical flag, you just make a triangle, and if it breaks through that little triangle, then that's when the ball that I described. That's when that happens. But right now, it's looking like it's almost consolidating because it's such a long, like, elongated line. It's like consolidation almost. It's like struggling. I don't see that one personally doing its thing. But everyone definitely do your own research, do your own technical analysis, and please put in the comments what you guys are thinking of what we're actually running through. Let us know what you guys are thinking and feeling about the market at the moment. Are you guys excited? Are you guys thinking the fear and greed is too high? What's going on? Please do engage with us and let us know. But yeah, I think that's been technically speaking. I appreciate you guys, everyone that's tuned in. Yeah, really happy to run through this one. And excited for the space. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening at the moment behind the scenes that I'm seeing. And yes, crazy. What a crazy time to be alive is all I can say. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been Keash.
And Łukasz, thank you very much. Thank you for your time and attention. Have a spectacular day, everyone, and see you in the next episode.
Amazing. Bless. Take care. I think you gotta end it, bro.
Yeah, I'll just end it. No.
Okay, sweet.
How do I stop the recording?
Up in the Zoom, it says there's a button. It says record. It should be like a pause button. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Anyway, I'm just gonna shut this down, bro. I'll call you in a minute.
Bless. Take care. Peace.
All right, see you, bro.